your reaction to that passage from the former Scalia clerk about the lack of standing, that the hypothetical harm to the doctors somehow worse than the actual harm to millions of women.
Well, I just love that you led with a Scalia clerk quote. And I think it's so telling because beyond the obvious that we believe that the women of this country should be able to make their own decisions about their health care with their doctors and their families and not politicians. This case goes to something pretty core, and that is the people that brought this case are a group that claims that this is some kind of stress for them, that this drug be out there that, as you point out, has been out on the market for 23 years, a drug that was okayed after 4 years of consideration by the FDA, that is safe in 60 countries, and then suddenly these 3 judges, one in Amarillo, Texas, 2 on the Fifth Circuit, all Trump appointed, come out and say, hey, I don't really think it should be 10 weeks. We think it should be 7. We don't think you should be able to get it in the mail, and we don't think you should be able to get it in pharmacies. That's what happens. But do they have the standing, that's what we call it, to make one of those claims? And it was Justice Scalia himself, not exactly a radical, who in one case said that the mere fact that there may be a chance of someone being harmed is not enough to even get standing, that it makes a mockery of our prior cases, that at least someone has to have actual harm or the potential for harm. Look who's really going to be harmed here, Alicia. The women of this country. It is the drug used in over half of the abortions. The women that have to take a bus from Texas to Minnesota or from Florida with their 6-week ban, Florida to New York. That's what's going to happen unless this court does the right thing.
And I'm sure you had the same observation reading this ruling, which is it is in part Kaczmarek trying to make this pivot to fetal personhood, right? The real concern is not the life of the woman carrying that pregnancy. Their concern is purely beginning to push this argument that fetuses should have legal rights. I got to ask you, you got legal experts who think this ruling is so flawed, it's unlikely the Supreme Court's even going to back it. I wonder how you see it playing out.
Well, I think it goes back to what I just talked about on this front of the standing front, because you literally can't have this 1 or now 3 judges be making a decision for women across the country. And we know we have another case out of Washington State, which covers my state of Minnesota, 17 states which allow abortion. They have said this judge said no. The FDA was given this right. The FDA was given the right by Congress to make these kinds of decisions. You even have pharmaceutical companies coming out, you know why, and saying this decision is wrong. The AMA, American Medical Association, making very clear that this drug is safe. Because what could this judge in Amarillo do next? Is he going to start saying, well, I don't like birth control. It really shouldn't be available to you. Or maybe another judge says Lipitor. I don't think that's safe. You cannot have that precedent when Congress gave FDA the right to make these kinds of decisions with their process, with medical advice, and based on the facts and the science. No matter what people's own personal religious beliefs are, and our country is rich with a diversity of religious beliefs, that's a good thing, you still have a delegation to the FDA when it comes to making decisions like this about drugs.
Senator, you brought up the 6-week ban that Ron DeSantis signed into law in the state of Florida. Notable that in the political speeches he has been giving since he signed that into law, he's not mentioning it. Right. There has to be a part of them that knows that, maybe paid attention during these past midterms, that this is not actually a political winner for them.
Well, I still remember, Alicia, some of my colleagues after Kansas, the day after Kansas, when they had done everything to make that vote on the ballot hard to turn down. And here over 500,000 people turned out to vote against it, to stand up. Democrats, moderate Republicans, independents, to stand up against it. And we keep seeing that. We keep seeing it in what happened in the Alaska congressional race. We see it in what just happened in Wisconsin with a major margin on their Supreme Court race. We are seeing it all over the country. That's where the people are. And that's why you don't see him emphasizing it. But you know what? It's hard to hide from that. He signed that into law.